This is not a hate video, disclaimer, but honestly, let's talk about Amad Diallo. What's going on with him? He's there, but he's not there, isn't it? Subscribe, like, and share. This is the United of Sport. It's the player focus. And today, as we count down to our trip to London to take on Brian Mbeumo's former side, Brentford, honestly, there is one player who we should be thinking of and saying, what's going on with him? Is he failing to live up to the expectation we had of him, or is it too early to judge? Can we be patient, or is he okay? What do you think, in your view, is the issue or the situation with Amad Diallo? Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. I remind you, for 39k on DSTV, you get to watch all football, including this EFL Cup, where we're dumped out of in a way that we wouldn't love, especially given the team that dumped us out in Grimsby, but we don't care. It's the EFL Cup, really. So Port Vale, Arsenal tonight, Newcastle, Bradford, Tottenham, Doncaster, and Huddersfield, Man City are all games you'll watch live for only 39k with your Car Wiki package. Guys, come and learn how the internet pays. People in Gambia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, in Nigeria, South Africa, there's people in which other country? I said Zimbabwe. Yes. There's another Niger. People in Niger. Yes, you're amazing people. I love the fire, the energy you have when it comes to learning how to earn. I think I'm first observing that I think people in those countries are perhaps the most aligned, I think, in terms of having ambition and their understanding of how the internet works and how the world moves. I think it's quite commendable. I mean, beautiful stuff. Guys, the rest of you, I don't know what you're up to, but you better have something you're doing that is bringing in money for you somewhere online. If you're not, please make it a point to learn today as early as possible. Today, tomorrow, this year, before the end of the year. Otherwise, you are, I think, losing out on a big opportunity to change your life. Now, let's get into it. So, guys, Amad Diallo, and I know, well, we love him. We prayed and hoped and we're all advocating for him to be playing games under Eric Ten Hag. It didn't happen. Eventually, he gets his chance and he proves himself, gets a big contract, and now he's there, always there. He's staying fit, not injured. But we don't see the impact we expected from Amad. Could it be a thing of him being covered and now under the wings of Mbeumo and the new guys who are taking most of the attention? Of course, Bruno, who will certainly always be always one of those taking the attention and the headlines. Or is Amad just on a process? He's on a journey. Is Amorim partly responsible for this? Is he playing him far out of position? We've seen him, though, play him as a 10 where we feel he should be playing more. But even there, Amad hasn't quite put the impact we would expect. What then does that mean? Guys, for me, and I'm being honest, before Nusal Mazraoui came back from injury, we probably didn't feel like Amad has much of terms of which player would come in there and start ahead of him. You felt maybe the right wing back position was his for keeps because there was never competition with him. However, looking at what Mazraoui produced when he showed up, when he came back, when he came against Chelsea, you don't think Mazraoui is going to be relegated to the bench for the next game unless he's injured or unless something terrible happens with him. Now, if Mazraoui is there, of course, there are two players he will block because most likely he's going to be on the pitch either as a right centre back of in the back three, but now also or as a wing back. Now, if Mazraoui is on the pitch, he certainly has got to displace someone who has been starting. Is it going to be Yoro or Amad? Is it easier to displace Amad or Yoro? Because Cunha is back. When Cunha is back, we know that Cunha and Mbeumo are the two number 10s. Shesko is the striker. Dogu on the left had a header. I think he's the one who assisted. His header assisted either Bruno or Casemiro. I forget who of the two, but both balls came from that side. But Dogu, I think, is also growing in that position now. It's difficult to say that Amad is going to be tried in Dogu's position. Amad is certainly not a central midfielder. He won't step there. He can only then play as a right wing back. But with Mazraoui putting on performances like he did against Chelsea, such a mature performance, you don't then bench him the next game. So do you then keep him on the pitch but as one of the back three and bring back Euro, rest Harry Maguire? Or you maintain the back three the way it was, which looked mature and firm and solid against the world champion, and then Mazraoui takes his place in the right to form something like this. And that for me, this in my view is currently, based on the last game, this is Man United's best 11 currently. The reason there is Ugarte there is because Casemiro is suspended. So I'm looking at our next game. For me, the best 11, and you tell me why is Lamens there? Have I seen him play a game of football at Man United? Or no, it's not about him playing. I've not seen him, but I know, even just by his fee, how much United signed him for, the teams that wanted him, the competition that was there. I was listening to the story of how it happened. The Royal Antwerp, I think, director of football, is it Mark Overmars? That's the legend. He was saying, he was narrating how the deal happened with Man United, and everything happened about 4 hours. United, I think, submitted their first official bid on deadline day. Aston Villa were advanced, wanted him. It had to depend on the departure of Emi Martinez, but then I think it didn't happen with Man United. So then it was a bit of a story, but it shows you the boy wanted Man United, by the way. Galatasaray and Aston Villa wanted him, and he said, I'm waiting for United. Then United makes a bid, and for which is below what Aston Villa had made, but 4 hours later they agree and they get the player. The thing is, for me, the price alone, we signed, Man United signed rather Altel Bindil for about 4 million or 5 million or thereabout. This boy was signed at a younger age from a smaller club for 21 million. That shows you he's a bigger player, a better, from a smaller club. Shows he's a better player. So for me, just banging on that and what I've heard people say about him, I think certainly he must be an improvement on Altel Bindel. So in terms of best 11, I would put him there even before seeing him. It's a thing of faith and belief in with the player they bought even without seeing him. But the backline, I don't think we've seen a more mature backline, aggressive in the back like we saw against Chelsea. Chelsea had no ideas. You saw Joao Pedro and these guys were lost up top. So for me, I think that backline, if it's fit, it's the best. Euro is good, but he's not as mature as those three. Those are leaders in there. That's experience in there. Something you need definitely if you are at a point like this, a pressure point as Man United. Then in the middle, of course, Ugarte and Bruno, I won't mind a lot about them. Of course, they will step up when the rest of the players are good up top. So for me, my best 11 wouldn't have Ahmad. It would have Ahmad as an impact substitute, because if Mazraoui is not performing, if any of those is not performing, Cunha or Mbumo, or you've killed the game, or you've run out of ideas, you can bring on Ahmad and he'll step up the game for 40 minutes, 30 minutes in the game, and he'll step up the game. There are players who maybe won't give you so much as starters, especially if you've got options, but off the bench, they can come in there and be a big contribution. So I think Ahmad, for now, is looking like that player. Is it a bad thing? No, for me, I think it's a good thing, because not every good player should be starting. Not that Ahmad is a bad player, but he has not been effective, not creating, not making assists. But Mazraoui is swinging in crosses, and they are creating goals. Mazraoui is looking a threat every time he's going forward. Ahmad is there, swinging in at times fake wrong crosses. I saw him tried on the left as the 10 on the other side near Dogu, and it was not looking quite like it. So whereas we like him, the way we like Kobe, I think we can comfortably say that in a short time we might be forced to get used to the fact that Ahmad is not a starter. Yeah, we might be forced to get used to the fact that Ahmad is not a starter, which I think for me is not really a bad thing. So if you have Ahmad on the bench, you've got Joshua Zirkzee. Remember, we've got few injuries now. It's only Martinez and Diogo Diallo. So if you got Ahmad, a bench that has Ahmad and Zirkzee and Mount, and who else? You've got those are players who can come and change something up top in a game. You're looking for goals. Those are players who can come and change something in a game. I feel it gives us enough depth to compete, especially now that we are left in only two competitions. That's the Premier League and the FA Cup. So that's my honest view. Ahmad can be a starter in FA Cup games, and he will destroy them probably. But in the Premier League, I'm beginning to be convinced and get used to the reality that Ahmad perhaps might not start as many games. And of course, there are times when Amorim will rotate and play Mazraoui as a defender, and then Ahmad starts. or even bench Mazraoui or Yoro and Ahmad starts in his wing. I'm not saying he will not cannot start a single game of football, but I think if we think of Man United's best 11 currently, he might not have a place in it. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. My name is Webb. How would you rate Ahmad's performance this season from your expectation? Before the season started, I was one of those who thought and felt that Ahmad could be the surprise guy. Him and Zirkzee hasn't got enough chances, but whereas our focus was mostly on Mbuma and Cunha, I low-key felt that like Ahmad maybe could actually come and surprise and run away with the season. But quite unfortunately, I think it's not working. It doesn't seem to be clicking. But yet the team is improving in a way, but you don't see Ahmad individually, showing you the qualities we are hoping to see in him. And it's not a thing of concern really. He's a young player also who is growing, but and also the lack of attention on him, I think, also gives him a bit of an opportunity to grow. I think he's in a good place to grow now because there's not so much focus on him. But I think the reality is Ahmad can be okay as an impact substitute, and we can live with it. What do you think? Drop a comment. Most importantly, come, learn. Drop your ego and learn how the internet pays. Learn it. Guys, understand how the internet pays. We are powered by DSTV. Ahmad won't start against Brentford. That's my thinking.